Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about E Squared, the book. If you haven't read it, it's definitely a lot of fun. If you're into manifesting and energy and playing in the field of potentiality, Pam Grout calls it, I'm going to talk about experiment number 1. So there's 9 experiments that she has, and yeah, they're just a lot of fun. So I've only done a couple of them, and I'll be doing videos on them as I do them. And so you give each one 48 hours. So of course it's going to take a little bit of time to do all 9. And I would suggest that you just do one at a time. There was a day where I was doing number 1 and number 2, and that was fine, but it kind of takes the impact and the intensity out of it. So the funny thing is, I didn't think that number 1 worked for me. And then when I reread it, I was like, oh, it did work. It's just not what I expected. So let me just tell you what it is. So the principle is, she calls it the dude abides principle, which I think means, you know, like a dude, like a guy, like God, the dude, the guy upstairs. But she does talk about, you know, think about God not as a man, a dude. Think about God as like energy, electricity. You know, it just is a force. It's not a thing or a man or a concept like that. She talks about it as the invisible energy field, invisible energy force. And it's just infinite possibilities in this energy field and this energy force. So the experiment is about asking for a gift. It's kind of like, well, prove that you exist. God, prove that the field of possibilities exist, that you know, that you exist, basically. So she says the time required is 48 hours. I'm just reading it. The hypothesis. If there's a 24/7 energy force equally available to everyone, I can access it at any time simply by paying attention. Furthermore, if I ask the force for a blessing, giving it a specific time frame and clear instructions, it'll send me a gift and say, my pleasure. So the key is not to be specific. It's not up to you to decide what is given. And this is the fun part and the funny part, because it's probably not going to be what you expect. And I will share with you what mine was. So the approach, and she's pretty funny. She's pretty straight to the point. She's pretty blunt, which I really like. She says, I hate to break it to you. FP, she calls it, the field of potentiality or possibility. I can't remember which one it is now. But folks are starting to talk. They're starting to wonder, is this guy for real? Meaning God. I mean, really, like, it'd be so much skin off your chin to come down here and call off this crazy hide and seek thing you've been playing. I'm giving you exactly 48 hours to make your presence known. I want a thumbs up, a clear sign, something that cannot be written off as coincidence. So you write down time required for 48 hours, today's date and the time, and the deadline for receiving the gift. So in my mind, I was thinking it was going to be like a gift, like, you know, a big amount of money or a sale or someone asking me on a date. Isn't it funny, the things that you get in your mind? And so I was doing this one and experiment number 2 at the same time, which was my, if you go back and read it, I'm pretty sure it was number 2. Let me just have a look. Yes, it was. Which was my yellow butterfly video. So go back and watch experiment number 2. And So there was not a lot of time left, I must admit. Like, the deadline was 9 a.m. and I think it just got in. I think it was like 15 minutes to go before 9 a.m. and I'm thinking, oh, this hasn't worked. My little monkey mind was going, didn't work for me. I'm not special enough. This shit doesn't work. What are you talking about? What are you doing? You know, the little monkey mind that pops up all the time, the little negative Nancy. And then I just finished, it must have been it was 8:30 because I just finished my live in my Facebook group. I do a live every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. So I think I only went for about half an hour. And then the power went out. And, well, actually, I only just saw that the internet went out. And I'm like, oh, the internet's gone out. I didn't even notice that the air conditioner had gone off and that my laptop light wasn't being charged because I just have it on charge all the time. And so I've got up and I've checked the modem, and then I've gone into the other house and gone into the office, which is another building. So there's 3 different internets here where I live. And then I noticed, oh, it's the power. The power's off, and not just in my apartment, in the house next door, I'm on a property, and in the office, which is another separate building. And then the neighbours messaged and said, is your power out? And I'm like, yes. So we realised that it was out of our control, nothing to do with anything. So I thought, well, I can either sit and journal or I can go and do some art. So I've started doing geode art, and it's using, you know, like crystals and resin paint to do all these beautiful colours, and it's really beautiful. I'm loving it so far. And I'm going to be activating the crystals with codes, success codes or love codes or whatever it is that I desire at the time, abundance codes, using light language and a few other things. So that's exciting. And I've been doing this one piece for, probably a month now. Because when I first started, I stuffed it up and I didn't do it the right way. And so I got a little bit despondent, and you have to wait 24 hours for the resin to dry in each step. So usually it'll take about 5 days. But I thought, okay, I'll go and do some resin art. And I started with colour. So I put some green in there and did all that. And yeah, it was really enjoyable. I was using glitter, and I've got to go back and do the final touches on it today or tomorrow. And it was really great, and I really loved it, and I took photos, and I love working with colour and expanding and growing, and I love baking. Like, I love being creative. And for years I was blocked by it because I was the perfectionist and I wasn't very good at it, I thought. And so why do something if you're not good at it? You know, that's the Virgo moon in me that was very critical and, you know, the perfectionist. But now I'm just like, well, it doesn't matter. I enjoy it, and that's all that matters, and who cares? And as soon as I'd finished, the power came back on. As soon as I finished, took my gloves off, power came on. I'm like, it's interesting. It wasn't till today, because I'm thinking, well, I can't do a video on that. Didn't work. Like, why would I share that? That's a pretty depressing video. And then just before, I'm lying there and I'm reading. I was just lying down and having a little rest, talking to Spirit. And I was reading it again, and I went, oh, it was just send me a gift. And to, you know, a clear sign, a thumbs up, something that cannot be written off as a coincidence. And I was like, they were like, yep, you're welcome. Because I can be a little bit of because I love my work so much, I can be a little bit, and I'm a generator in human design. I can just be, I love to work, and I'm just going to work, and I love it, and I love it. I love creating videos, and I love listening to trainings on personal development. Because I've got to go down to the shed to do this art, it's like I've got to go away from the house, and there's no internet down there, and it's just separate, and so I have to be in the silence or put some music on. And so it's really, really interesting that Spirit said, well, no, we want you to create. And I have been getting that message, go create, go create. But this was pretty much them forcing me to, in a lovely way, giving me that gift. They have a wicked sense of humor. I must warn you, it's not going to be what you expect, but it's going to be what you need and what they want you to receive. I can't wait for you to do this. Give them 48 hours. I will write down in the notes section the little lab report sheet thing for you to write down and to do. And it's you know, it says to spend the 2 days, the 48 hours, in just expecting. And I was expecting. I was in this excited energy. I was like, oh, I can't wait. What's my surprise going to be? What's my gift going to be? And yeah, here I was thinking, oh, someone might ask me out on a date. That'd be exciting. And oh, someone might sign up to this program. That'd be even more exciting. And, you know, all these things. I might get a new client. How fun would that be? And all of these things. And then it was, do your art. Here's the gift. Time for you to do your art. So they do have a funny sense of humor, and it might just be something really small, like she talks about in the book. An older lady sat next to a little boy, and he just looked up and he smiled at her, and they shared this beautiful moment, and that was her gift, and that was her sign from the universe. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's special, and it really is just about having fun with it and getting excited and wondering what this gift's going to be, and just having the awareness as well. And in hindsight, like me, you might look back and go, actually it worked, that was the gift. Not what I expected. But so stay tuned for more experiments to come. And if you'd like an extended healing, I've popped an extended healing down in the notes as well. Feel free to click on it and go grab it. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for a new video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.